That's right. Let's go. It's Gauntlet Friday night, baby. It's your host, Tinsel Snipes, aka Original Recipe Tonight, because you know y'all had to cop the three-piece. You know what I'm saying? And off to my right is James Tatum, aka Dr. Love James, and below him is Detroit Dom. Wild card, NFL wild card is in the books. We're going to be bringing it to you live tonight. Our thoughts and commentaries about this past week in the NFL playoffs and this weekend's as well, the NFL divisional round. But before we get started, how's everybody doing tonight?
Feeling good, bro.
Doing
Another
all
week in the
right.
books.
Yep. Pretty good.
Well, Dom, so it looks like David Montgomery. He's back this weekend, isn't he?
Yeah, we're about to run wild on that shitty Washington defense.
So much for out for the season.
Yeah, I know.
They say he was out for the season before. I don't know what happened.
He went and got a second and a third opinion, and he finally got someone to say, no, you don't need surgery. You can rehab it. So he got to rehabbing, and now he's ready. Even if he's at 70%, it's better than 0% or on IR and done for the year.
We'll just have to see what he does, bro. He's a
Yeah.
big piece to your team.
And joining the show is the boy, Ken Dog, the one and only Ken Whitley, host of the Ken's Pet Show. Ken, how you doing tonight, brother?
Doing pretty good. Sorry, guys, about that, man. I was getting me something to eat.
Did you get that three-piece from KFC, though?
No, I did go to Taco Bell. That was right beside KFC.
I had that earlier.
They're in the same franchise.
Oh,
Yeah.
Taco Bell and KFC in the same day? Man, your guts are going to hate you.
Hey, some
At least he's not
locations-
eating it. Hold on. At least he's not eating it on camera like JJ.
Actually, you Dom, I don't know if they got them up there or James Kendall, but for some of them, they in the same building.
Yes, we're not.
Did you guys see? Hold on. Did you guys see the KFCs that's like themed for the Chiefs and the Steelers and
Yeah.
49ers?
No,
AKA Red Cowboys. I'll have to show it to you after the show, but I saw that earlier this week.
Yeah. Jay, that's how mine is down here in North Carolina. The KFC and Taco Bell is one building together.
Yeah, they got a few of those in Detroit.
Yeah,
I really like KFC. I haven't had KFC on purpose in a long time.
You haven't ordered from KFC like willingly in a minute.
Yeah, like 10 years easy.
Shit, damn. Well, you subject yourself to that kind of pain, bro. Well, with that being said, we'll get on to our first segment, and that is our it's about the third week in a row we got it going on, the blind resume. Which player would you rather have, James, if you will?
Actually, Dom is leading this one, not me.
Oh, my bad, Dom.
Let me see the graphics. Hang on, there you go. Okay, you got three running backs. Running back one, obviously averaging the most yards per carry, but with the least total yards, but the most total touchdowns. One of you guys pick first. I'll give my pick last because I know who they all are.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go first then. Let's see here. Ooh.
Very evenly matched.
No, yes, they are very evenly matched. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick running back two. Running back two. He's got the healthy mix. He's got like the second most touchdowns out of them out of the two, and he's also I mean,
Hello?
total yards are close in proximity. So I'm gonna go ahead and go running
I
back.
can't hear you guys. Oh, Lord.
James.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going with running back too. Who do you got?
You're going with running back too?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? Give me running back one.
Kendall?
No. I cannot hear you.
I go RB. I'm going RB2.
Okay.
Dom, who you
One who was wrong about Baltimore.
JJ, who you got on the board on as far as blind resume?
I think he
Well,
can't hear you,
you
OG.
can't hear me.
Hold on a second. All right, ask him again.
Hey JJ, who you got on the board for blind resume?
I'm going to go with running back 2. I can live
Okay.
with one less touchdown, but I love the yardage and the average yard. I always have a rule. If you're over 5 yards to carry, everything else is all good for me. And I like that he has yards and touchdowns. He's not that far behind.
All right, so it looks like me and JJ got running back 2. James, you got 1. Whitley, Lee said he wanted 2. All right, Dom, go ahead, man.
I am going to go with running back 1 based on yards per carry and
I can't hear
touchdowns.
him.
The yards are nice, but what do I always say? The ultimate, the
Can
end
you
all
hear
be
him?
all stats of a running back is yards per carry, and that's running back 1 by a decent margin. So
Okay.
I'm going 1. Are we ready for the reveal?
You
Yeah,
could,
what's the
and
reveal?
Jay, you can hear him?
I can hear him.
I couldn't hear him at all. Who did he
Are we re-
select?
I took 1.
He took running back number 1.
Are we ready
All
for the reveal?
right, what's the reveal?
I'll actually go in opposite order. Running back 3 that none of us took is one Saquon Barkley.
Wow. Okay. Number 2.
I can't see that. I don't see anything. Who's number 1?
He said running back 2 was Saquon Barkley.
3
Oh,
is
running
So
back
who's
1,
running back?
3. Running back 3 is Saquon. Who's number
3
2?
is Saquon.
Uh,
2 is one Derrick King Henry.
Yeah, you can hear Dom. Can y'all hear Dom? Because I can't hear him.
Hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second, please. All right, now go ahead.
okay. So 3 was Saquon Barkley. 2 is King Henry, and who's number 1?
Does anyone have any guess as to who running back 1 might be before I tell you?
I would guess David Montgomery.
No, why does everyone keep guessing him? He doesn't have the yards, let
Josh,
alone the yards per carry stats.
Josh Jacobs.
No,
That's
JJ was the closest. Same backfield, other running back. It is in fact
Gibbs.
Sonic, not Knuckles, Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs. All
and
All
you
right.
right.
know this.
Well,
I'm
obviously, I'm
okay.
taking Saquon out of those
And
three.
you
Oh,
and
now
I end
that
up,
you know that that's Saquon, when it was that's not you.
but I
It's
You're
ended
not
up
fair.
taking.
shirking the
I
It's
ended
not
rules
up.
of
fair.
blind.
Hold on. It's
You are
not fair
shirking the
because
rules of blind resume, sir.
it's
Of
Hold on.
not
course,
I
if I
fair.
ended up.
told you 3 was
It's
Saquon,
not
Hold
you'd
on,
guess
fair.
y'all.
Saquon.
It's not fair because how many touchdowns would Saquon actually have if it wasn't for the tush push and Jalen getting all those touchdowns? Tell the truth.
It's totally fair because it's blind resume. Of course, if I tell you which one's Saquon, you're
I'm
going to take
saying though the
Saquon.
numbers.
So did
Just
you
Tell
like if
laugh
I
that?
told JJ which one was Derrick Henry, he's going to take Derrick Henry. That's
But
why
I
it's
ended up
called
taking him. I ended up taking him
blind
anyway.
resume.
I ended up taking Derek anyway. I ended up
You
taking
did.
Derek anyway.
You
Yeah,
did.
I just saw
But
a
for
healthy
what it's
mix
worth,
between the two. I mean,
for
I
what
just saw
it's
a healthy mix between the two. But go ahead,
for
JJ.
what it's worth, to your point, for what it's worth, I was leaning to one as well, and so and it makes sense because I'm a big Gibbs fan. So
Suffice it to say, any one of us would be happy with any one of those 3 running backs in our backfield.
I
should we all
completely,
got
I completely
we?
missed my pickup.
Well,
He
that's
wants
called
a
blind
redo.
resume.
I, I would have done Saquon, Henry, Gibbs, obviously. And I think
And if you
most.
think about it, like, if you subtract Saquon's yards from this year, like in an average year for him, he's not even close. But those 20, 22, almost 2,300 yards that he had this year, they helped a lot.
Hey Kendall, after
Yeah.
the reveal of the 3 running backs, do you still feel? Would you still roll with your choice? The first one was the one you picked was Jameer Gibbs.
No, I said Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, yeah, but you went with running back number 1 though, right?
No, no, I
No,
said
he
two.
said 2. He took Henry.
Oh, he did take Henry. Okay, okay, okay,
He
okay. Now
saw
I'm good.
Derrick Henry wax those Steelers he thought was going to win. He got wised
But
up.
hold
He
on.
got right.
I did I admit it during the chat that I was wrong.
But
Do I
what you
get
probably
credit? Do I get credit for admitting?
You do, but we'll see how you pick against Buffalo. Then we'll see what really's going on.
I
I
guess
see.
that's
I
that's
see.
Hey,
the
we not
element.
getting that far yet. We're not getting that far,
Yeah,
I
bro. We
guess
gotta
that's the
go.
new
Hold on.
element that
Now,
we
hold
got
on.
to add to this segment. After we do the reveal, is it would you stick with who you picked?
yeah, I
But
would,
moving
of
on.
course.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And nobody would disagree. Not even a Lions fan.
I would stick with mine.
I would stick. I would stick
I'm
with my
pretty
pick.
fine with. I'm pretty fine with King Henry. Shoot, I
Yeah.
got him now.
I would
All
still
right,
have
so let's
Gibbs over
go.
Saquon.
You guys know what time it is. It's time for the best players of the
But I
wild
will
card
say,
round.
if I could say one thing, I will say it's funny because Jameer has those yards and he doesn't have the quarterback that can run anywhere close to the ones that Derrick Henry and Saquon have.
Right.
Hmm.
And he doesn't have the touches.
All right. Well, we got to move on to our Gauntlet Grinder segment. In which order did you do it, James?
There is no order. Whoever wants to go, go.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
All right. Well, you know what? We'll start with you, James. Who you got for your Gauntlet Grinders?
My gauntlet grinder, man. It's the man that we was just talking about, Derrick Henry. Look
There's
at
a big
him bust
smile on
this
his
run
face.
loose down the middle. Once this
Pay
guy gets
attention.
in the second level, man, what you gonna do?
Pay
He's
attention,
too
Kendall.
he's he's too big. He's too strong. He's too fast. I don't know what the Buffalo Bills are gonna do with this guy. And then Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith was nasty. Look at him just blow past this guy, making plays. He was all over on the field in this game in the run and the pass. Got 2.5 sacks. And Nolan Smith is balling, man. He's a first round pick from Georgia. People were saying, I don't know, I'm not sure about this guy last year, but he's developed and made himself a really good player. So I'll go with Nolan Smith in the NFC.
What were they wearing? Their old Pittsburgh uniforms or something? Like, what is going on?
I think he had clips from weeks ago, but it doesn't take away his performance. Dom, who you got for your Gauntlet
Ah,
Grinders, man?
AFC, I'm going your boy, Joe Mixon. This man all year long has been doing God's work, just running through holes that don't really exist. Houston's
he's
Houston's run and pass blocking has been
Look at that stiff
atrocious
arm.
all year. It just he hits that hole that's almost non-existent. He runs over guys. He's still got speed like he was a much younger man, and he's put that team on his back at times because uh, CJ Stroud's been kind of shaky here and there. He had that 5 turnover game. They still came out on top. I'm sorry, that wasn't Houston. I'm
who?
thinking I'm thinking of my NFC grinder, and that is one Mr. Jaden Daniels
Mm.
So it's
looking
funny that
like
it's funny because Joe Mixon ain't had an O line in Cincy, so it's no problem to have no O line in Houston. He's
that's
Mm.
used
true.
to it. He used
That's
to it.
true. That's
Go
true.
ahead, Dom, for your NFC Grinder.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels, 24 35, 26, 268 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. Also added 36 rushing yards, looking like a very, very poised rookie. Took out the number 3 seed in his first playoff game on the road, and he's been the man all year. He's shaken off some questionable starts, and he's been key late in games in the second half and in fourth quarters. He's got multiple game winning drives. He's also my pick for offensive rookie of the year.
All right, there's some highlights there of Jaden Daniels in last week's win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in overtime, in what a lot of people would call was probably the best and closest contested game of Wild Card Weekend. And so, with that being said, the Washington Commanders are now traveling to Dom's Detroit Lions for the
So
divisional
where's my
round.
gauntlet grinder? What are you doing?
Um,
We haven't gotten
uh,
to you yet. You
We're
want to go
getting
Oh,
next?
there.
yeah,
Get
of
your pants
course.
on.
okay,
I
yeah.
almost
Now,
felt like Jay forgot me.
no, I was in the middle of a commentary, but since you brought you up, now we'll go to you, JJ. Who's your Gauntlet Grinder?
Y'all already said them. Of course, I'm taking the man who is probably going to be the one key aspect that people need to realize when it comes to playing Baltimore, and that is one Derrick Henry. I mean, at the end of the day, some people in this panel wasn't ready to realize it, but they did now because Derrick Henry is just that guy. And at the end of the day, not only did he run and get points and rack up yards and everything, he took the life out of them. Bama on Bama crime, and was amazing crime. Add him to the list. And then when you saw Patrick Queen's face, I love you, Patrick, but you saw his face when Derek got loose. That man is everything.
Don't know
And then
him like
I'll
that, that blunt.
JJ, if I could just interrupt you for a second, I believe you submitted the right tackle of your team as your
you're
Gauntlet
right.
Grinder.
I did. My
He got all
apologies. You
excited.
read that.
I
Yeah.
have some clips. I have some clips to show for him. If you would like to speak about that.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about the guy that made TJ Watt TJ not, because you didn't see TJ, you didn't know where he was. And Roger Rosengard, the right tackle, ever since he has been at right tackle, the Ravens have been taken off. We lost the first 2 games, and then we put him at right tackle. Then we beat Dallas, beat Buffalo, and then it was never looking back. So we got to give it to him. Thank you, James. Forgive me for doing that. Look at him. Roger has solidified this offensive line next to Ronnie Stanley. Another fine from the
Is he a
Ravens.
rookie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Ravens, I'm sorry, when it comes to offensive line, defensive line, we just know. We just do it. We've had I can go down a list of all the offensive linemen that have done well here. They may have bombed in other places because some people on this panel have grabbed some of our offensive linemen and they didn't do the same.
Fuck you, Rick Wagner.
But the whole point is, and even then, I believe Kevin Zeitler is with the Eagles right now.
Kevin Zeitler is with the Lions.
Oh, he's with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's with you. But at the end of the day, Roger Rosengard, got to give it to him as well. And then I'm going to give it to the other guy who actually, in my opinion, has the number 1 seed in the NFC on serious upset alert. And that is Jaden Daniels, because one thing it really has given teams problems is running dual threat quarterbacks. But Jaden Daniels came in. He played against a Tampa Bay squad that is good, but maybe not the best of the best, but he still did what he had to do. And so I got to give it to him on that one. And we'll talk more into what the thoughts of the next game.
All right. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. When it comes to Jaden Daniels, I mean, you figure it's a rookie's his first playoff win. I'm not going to go into a level of competition or anything like that. I was just glad to see the brother get his first win. We'll swing it over to Kendall Whitley. Who do you got for Gauntlet Grinders Wild Card Weekend?
Yeah, man, appreciate it, Jay. My boy Dom, first one, Jaden Daniels, man, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, man. This rookie is playing like a 10-year veteran. He is balling right now, man. But I'm still happy with Drake May in New England, but dang, Jaden Daniels look good. And then to go over to the AFC, my guy, one of the most underrated running backs in the league, James Cook, 23 carries, 120 yards. He looked real good this week. I actually thought when
Kendall,
Bo
what you talking about? He's trash. The media says he's trash. What are you talking about? He's
let me say this.
trash, according to the media.
I actually think with him and whatnot with this game, I actually thought Denver was going to win this game after Bo Nix
Me
then
too.
went down there on the first drive. But then, man, I don't think Buffalo win without James Cook. I really don't. I don't think they win without him, man. And he looked real
What?
good.
You mean you don't think they would win? They got Josh Allen, Superman, bro. He's doing
he's
it all
the key
by
to their
himself.
offense.
Yeah, James
Josh
Cook.
Allen's
James
always
Cook.
going to be
Yeah,
Josh
Cook is
Allen.
the key.
100%. He takes the
Did,
pressure off.
Yeah,
He does.
James
no,
Cook.
he,
I don't think they win the game
what y'all
without James.
talking about? Shady McCoy said nobody's on the Buffalo Bills but Josh Allen. What are y'all talking
Let,
about?
let me
Y'all don't know
finish,
what y'all
JJ.
talking about.
Let me finish, JJ. But yeah, James Cook, I think he's the key to the offense and whatnot. He kept Josh Allen in that offense, and they basically was getting first downs on second down. So whenever they even a third down, it was a 3rd and 2 or fourth and short, something like that. So good. James Cook, man, 23 carries, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, yeah, 1 touchdown. Look real good, man. I'm interested to see what he does tomorrow night and against Baltimore. Well, Sunday against Baltimore. Interested to see what happens there, man. But shout out James Cook.
All right. And well, last but not least, I'll go. We can get the clips real fast. So my AFC Gauntlet Grinder, and there was so many places I could go. But me being a defensive guy first, I have to give it to the entire Houston Texans defense. In the wild card win against the Chargers, the Houston Texans defense came away with 4 interceptions, including a pick 6. Eric Murray had a 38-yard interception return for a touchdown. Derek Stingley added 2 interceptions himself, and also 4 sacks. My NFC Gauntlet Grinder, you see him on the screen, Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford said he is not done yet when it comes to his NFL career. And as long as he's in the postseason, the Rams have got a chance. 19 of 27, 207 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and a win against the Minnesota Fraud Queens. I meant the Minnesota Vikings. 27-9, and the Rams are moving on to the next round.
Thank you, sir.
James's Eagles. So
I
everybody,
can't
those
believe you didn't
are
go Rams D line with their nine sacks.
yeah, no, they had a hell of a performance as well. They most definitely did. But when we come back, we're gonna move on to our world-renowned sports moron of the week. We'll be right back.
I hope somebody delivers I hope somebody delivers a funny take so when y'all at Super Bowl, y'all can react the same way.
I
Well,
hope so.
as you can see from the video introduction to the segment, it is the sports moron of the week, where we get it off our chest, ladies and gentlemen. The most outlandish takes and actions given by athletes, sports analysts, podcasters, you name it, of the last week. And you know what? I'll just go ahead and get mine out of the way real fast. I won't go too hard, but James, if you can roll that clip, please.
I need a laptop.
I'll be more than happy to.
I thought that boy said about week. That boy said about week.
Oh, I love this one. Is that George? Is that George Pickens?
You're mixing.
Come on, Rex.
Oh,
Who said you can't motivate a team, man?
is he lighting a cigar?
Yeah, bring
I
the
can
stogie
still
out.
motivate a team with the best
Oh, I
stuff
can't
and
hear.
things like
I
that.
never
But
could hear these videos.
my goodness, I mean, it was. I mean, who had a worse day, me or Justin Herbert? It's probably right there. But I got to tell. I mean, you got to tip your hat to them because that team played their absolute
Ryan.
asses off.
Okay.
If you guys were going to play like that, I would have taken you to win the Super Bowl. But I'm seeing the games going up into it, 1-5 against playoff teams. I'm seeing all that, and sorry, Houston.
He apologized, man.
I'm not gonna, and that's why I'm not gonna go too hard. He's actually kind of gotten it
What
all
did he
week,
say?
but
What did he
I would-
say? What
okay,
did he say?
so a little bit of a backstory. Prior to the Chargers Texans game, Rex Ryan said that the Los Angeles Chargers were going to get a playoff bye week because they were playing the Texans. He alluded to the Chargers having the number one scoring defense in the NFL. But the thing that he completely overlooked, being a defensive guy himself, was that the Houston Texans had the 6th overall defense in the NFL. And as you can see from my Gauntlet Grinder, the Texans defense, 4 interceptions, 4 sacks. You know, Houston definitely brought it. They gave Justin Herbert arguably his worst outing as a quarterback. Boy, the talk was live about who Justin Herbert really was, but he did apologize. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
I gotta check.
He was humbled. And the Texans, all they did was just shut up and play ball. You know, D'Amico Ryans was approached about the comment. He said, "Hey, we don't let outside noise get to us. We go out there and we play ball." Mixon, he said, "Hey, I'm not worried about anything anyone else has got to say." They did their talking after the game, and as you can see from the locker room celebration, which clearly was dedicated towards Rex Ryan, as you can see. Yes, Rex Ryan was our sports moron, or my sports moron of the week. James, who you got, man?
All the people in the media and stuff that's hyping Deion Sanders and the Cowboys in this whole situation. First of all, it's just going to be a complete circus. And this is exactly what Jerry Jones wants, which if Deion does become the coach, don't be surprised. It would make sense.
Loves the circus. He's a
But
fucking ringmaster.
Deion is not ready to coach at this level. He barely can coach at the level that he's at already. What happens every time they go against a top team in college? Always gets smoked. Doesn't matter who it is. They can't compete at that level. So what do you think he's going to do when he's going against professionals? When he's going against coaches that has what he doesn't? Has a higher football IQ, been coaching this game for years, knows the ins and outs, knows how to prepare a team, knows how to develop stuff, knows how to build culture. Deion cannot do that. He's not ready for this. But you're going to sit here and tell me, like Stephen A. Smith, oh, well, if Deion goes to Dallas, Dallas is going to win the Super Bowl. Have you lost your damn mind, or do you forget?
Stephen A. Smith said that?
You forget who the Cowboys are. He said, quote, it's not a question of if they're going to win the Super Bowl with Deion, it's when will they, is what he said.
I present a further exhibit of why Stephen A. Smith should not be allowed to talk about NFL football.
Hold on. Look where this team is right now. The situation they're in right now. They're stuck with Dak Prescott as their quarterback for the foreseeable future. They're stuck. CeeDee Lamb, big contract. Micah Parsons, good player, but he's about to become the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. And he's not that guy. We've had the conversation before. He's not on Myles Garrett level. He's not on TJ Watt level, but he's going to be paid as if he is. There's a reason this team was not signing anybody in free agency. Basically because they can't. So this team is going in the wrong direction. The other two teams in the division are going in the right direction. The Eagles and Washington. So if you think this team is going to finish any higher than third, and you think Deion Sanders is your savior, you're completely delusional.
Well, there was a commentary. This is an interesting commentary I came across this early, and I'll touch on it real quick. This is from former wide receiver T.J. Houshmandzadeh. Some of y'all may have seen this already, but it's something worth noting. Question for the panel. Any Dallas Cowboys head coach, they just got rid of McCarthy, right? Any Dallas Cowboy head coach dating back to Bill Parcells, have they coached again in the NFL after they left the Cowboys?
Right.
And that answer is no.
It's like the Lions all the way back to Wayne Fonts.
Yeah.
I think McCarthy probably will, though. He's got a lot of interest.
McCarthy does have a lot of interest, but it's just something.
I think, to be honest with you, it's Jimmy Johnson's idea. Switch Pittsburgh and Dallas's coaches. Win-win.
Do you mean when you say coach, mean your head coach or coaching period? Like, what do you mean?
Head coach.
After the Dallas Cowboys, did they head coach in the NFL?
Head coach. Well, I'm about to say Wade Phillips, but he was a defensive coordinator in Denver.
The coordinator, yeah.
Mike McCarthy, like James said, Mike McCarthy's about to probably.
He'll get another job.
I think he's going to get that Bears job probably. So
the Bears flew McCarthy out on a private jet.
Coaching job because he shouldn't have got a first head coaching job.
Right.
The crazy part about it is, before they even let him go, didn't they block the Bears from interviewing him?
Yeah,
they did.
I think it's going. I wouldn't be surprised if something crazy happens. And like I said, I'm rolling with Jimmy Johnson's idea. Tomlin, go to Dallas. McCarthy, go to Pittsburgh. Switch.
Tomlin's not going to Dallas.
No.
If you don't know that, stranger things have happened.
First of all, Tomlin would never go to Dallas because he doesn't want to deal with the circus and Jerry Jones and all this
clause. He got a clause.
That's number one.
So he has a clause. He could break out of it.
Hang on, JJ. Hang on, JJ. Go ahead.
I think we kind of went off track with this topic a little bit, but let's bring it back in. Deion Sanders, once again, cannot coach at the NFL level. He is not the savior. He's not going to change anything for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are in disarray. They're going to continue to be disarray, and that's it.
I'm not gonna debate it and everything, but I don't agree. But I know it's your take. I'm not gonna debate it though.
The only thing Dallas would have in its favor they're trying to turn back to the clock to back when they won titles, which is plucking a head coach out of the college ranks.
I honestly think
Deion? I don't think so. It's an interesting idea. It'll be fun to watch.
I think the media has an agenda towards Deion, and I think Deion is not as bad as the media is painting him out to be. So I'm always going to give a guy a chance.
The media treats him like the media treats him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. What are you talking about? Stephen H. Smith
No,
just said it's not a matter of if they're winning the Super Bowl, it's when. So how is that
okay.
not? How is
So
that?
first and
How
foremost,
is
you pay
that?
attention to.
That's
So
the
first and
opposite
foremost,
of what you're talking
so
about.
hold on. First and foremost, I don't pay no attention to anybody whose primary thing is basketball when they're talking about football. So I never pay attention to anything Stephen A. Smith says, nor do I do Paul Pierce, nor
Thank
do
you.
I do
Thank you.
any of those guys who have nothing in baseball. They talk like fans. Just like if you were talking about basketball, I pay no attention to Shannon Sharp. I pay no attention to Keyshawn Johnson. I pay no attention to those guys. I pay attention to the guys that are in that sport. Stephen A. Smith is a fan. Stephen A. Smith is a fan. He knows what he's doing. But I will say of other things. I'm talking about how they kind of set things up by how they glorify him. I don't really know because at the end of the day, he made Jackson State a powerhouse with HBCU.
Powerhouse.
They were a powerhouse when he was there. They were a powerhouse. They went undefeated, and I think they won their national title game. That is for their division. That's a powerhouse, and for 1 year. The turnaround at Colorado is the same. We don't know what's going to happen. Is it possible that he could fail? Absolutely. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to sit here and say that he will fail just because I don't know. He could surprise you.
I did want to
Trust and
address
believe.
something. I did want to address something that Dom said. That and this is in connection to your point, James. Because Dom said the Cowboys may be trying to turn back the clock and pluck a coach from the college ranks to come in just like they did back in the day. But question for you. The two coaches that they did pluck from the college ranks back in the day, Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer, what do both of these men have in common in college?
Won national titles.
Deion doesn't have one. And that is where, to James's
Deion
point,
doesn't have a
it
fucking
comes
conference title.
I've watched Deion Sanders consistently get outcoached by the top teams in college football.
We all
So if it's
have.
happening in college, why will it not happen in the pro?
And it's not like he finished third in, the Big Ten or the SEC. He couldn't even win the goddamn Pac-12
yeah. But
last year.
All right, but I'm good, man. Let's move to the next sports moron.
Dom, who you got, man?
You get the clip, James?
I do.
This is actually, you can't necessarily say of the week because I believe this take was made probably last
But you discovered it this week.
Thursday or Friday. Our boy, I like his. Sometimes I like his takes. He also comes into under a lot of fire and gets a lot of pushback for saying things like this.
He's a Sam Darnold lover, but yeah.
This roster isn't great. There's no but.
JJ's gonna love this.
Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold. Look at the numbers. Who do you trust more in a playoff game? Are you sure it's Lamar? And I love Lamar. But what I said years ago, I said there's some Andrew Luck.
Ridiculous.
Are you sure it's Lamar?
Hold on, I want to
So
say
hang
this
on,
though, real
JJ. I'll
quick,
be
though,
quick,
before
and then
the
you
other
can
one thing.
sound off if you want to.
2008.
Hold on,
A special teams guy
JJ,
who had
JJ,
no
hang
history
on a
came out of
second.
nowhere was told that he would never succeed.
All right, go ahead.
JJ, hang on. We got to
Hang
get
on,
Dom's
JJ.
take.
We'll get to you in a
Okay,
moment because we know you got something to say.
JJ, we have to get Dom's take.
JJ, it's Dom's turn. It's Dom's turn.
Okay.
So, anyways,
I feel like y'all had
obviously,
what's
very
outside.
asinine take. We all know there's a long, sordid history with Colin Cowherd and Sam Darnold. He loved him coming out.
I can't hear Dom.
Loved him in
Dom,
New York.
Hold on one second.
You know.
All right, now go ahead.
All right,
Okay.
good. Got a bum deal in New York and Carolina. Colin Cowherd's always been a big supporter, and I, at the beginning of the year, at least prediction-wise, was a supporter for Sam Darnold. He's probably still going to win Comeback Player of the Year. But to say, what is like? Unless you're counting regular season games as playoff games, which he didn't do too hot in his regular season finale either. What has Sam Darnold ever done to make you trust him more
Nothing.
than Lamar Jackson? Has Lamar Jackson had his share of playoff gaffes? Sure. But Lamar Jackson has won playoff games, multiple playoff games. He got to the AFC title game last year. So for him to come out and say that is wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. But if
Yeah,
you know Colin, you know that he has a long track record of since Sam Darnold was in college.
He does,
that's his
and
guy.
he's patting himself on the back because he's had such a good year. But guess what? the Vikings, much like the Packers, they didn't really beat anyone any good this year either. They played the Lions. What'd they do? Lost. Then they played the Rams the next week. What'd they do? Lose. Then they played the Lions again at the end of the year. What'd they do? Lose. Then they played the Rams again. What'd they do? Lose
Lose.
badly.
Yep. All right,
So I, for
JJ.
one, do not trust Sam Darnold more than I trust Lamar Jackson.
All right, JJ. Now your
JJ got
reaction to
so
that
bad he
clip.
took his shirt off.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah, you can react now to the clip.
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hold on just a second.
we're waiting with bated breath to hear what you had to say about this.
Yes. Yes. Now,
He's
now
about
you
to go
can
Hulk
react.
Hogan and rip that A shirt in half too.
So, to go back
What
to
you
the
gonna
point,
do,
before I
brother?
give my moron, I want to address the retort that I had before.
And he froze.
And we lost him. Waited all this time. He's
I
ripping
want to
his shirt
address
off.
the retort, and then he's
And
gone.
then, yeah.
He's struggling to rip that A shirt in half.
Okay, so while we wait on JJ
All
to
right,
come,
now it's Kendall's turn.
yeah, Kendall, go ahead, man.
It's Kendall's turn.
Oh
Go
man,
ahead,
I
bro.
feel like JJ got a lot going on tonight, man.
He's everywhere, man.
Hey man, this hurts me because Colin, my guy, man. I know they're gonna be out there.
Me too.
They're gonna be out. I like him. I like Nick Wright too, but I know they're gonna be out there for the Super Bowl, whatnot. He said something. I believe it was yesterday about the Steelers should trade up to get Shador, and he said they should give up 2 first-round picks, Jordan Pickens and T.J. Watt.
Yeah, I saw that too.
To get Shador,
I can't hear nobody. Like, I feel like I'm the black sheep right now.
to get Shador Sanders or whatnot. So that's
can't
what
hear anybody.
that's what he said. I was like, I didn't. That he's my first moron of the week. Colin Carroll for saying all that.
I can't hear anybody.
You can't hear anybody?
Now, like, okay, I feel like I'm the black sheep right now. What's going on?
I don't know,
You
my
are
guy.
the
What's
black
going on
sheep,
with you?
but you're not intentionally.
I get cut off after y'all say y'all point because y'all don't want to hear the retort. And now, like, what's up? What's
Okay,
going
then
on?
what's your so-called retort?
My so-called retort is the same thing as y'all so-called opinion. At the end of the day, plenty of coaches have came in and nobody thought they'd succeed, and there you are, they are succeeding. Yes, you may not like Dion, you may not have your own issues with him and stuff like that, but again, nobody's an oracle. Nobody knows, so you just can only speculate. But I don't mind speculating that they may not they may fail. What I do think is the difference is when you're making declarative statements saying that they would fail no matter what. We do not know, and we do not know all that is being said. A lot of people do praise Dion, but a lot of people just as much as hate Dion. And I know the media has an agenda against it because I watch how they position comments, how they position questions. They position questions in topics so that people can find something to dig against him. The media thinks they're slick. I'm too smart for that. But that's all I have to say about that one. We'll go to the actual sports moron. And it's not a sports moron, it's a call out. And I'm going to help y'all out. It is okay to say I was wrong. It is okay to say that, you know what? He is better. Because Emmanuel Acho, boy, I love, y'all are so funny. If this quarterback is judged by so much pressure saying it's a make or break thing, you indeed are telling the rest of the world you think he's the second best quarterback in the game. He's better than Josh Allen to you because he has a higher standard that he's judged by. He's better than Joe Burrow because he has a higher standard to judge by. But nobody wants to admit it. I get it. He is showing y'all up every single day and you guys cannot take it. He is bothering you guys because everyone has a lot of pride. Everyone has a lot of ego. And he is shutting your ego down. But you make it worse when you guys double down and contradict yourselves all the time. I am now calling Lamar Jackson to the media world. He is the ultimate prover of contradictions. He is the ultimate prover of irony, hypocrites, all of it. He
We
is
should
the
just have a separate
ultimate.
segment
He is
every
the
week called
ultimate.
JJ's thoughts on Lamar Jackson.
It's not even my thoughts on Lamar Jackson. I'm just sitting here thinking like,
Okay.
it's not even my thoughts on Lamar Jackson. The body of work speaks for itself. I don't need to sit there and do this. And at the end of the day, this weapons thing, this is another last hypocrisy. What was Patrick Mahomes' best year in the NFL? Who was his 2 top targets? Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. What did happen with Josh Allen when he smoked Brown with Stephon Diggs? Amazing year. Jamar Chase comes to Cincinnati. Bomb.com year. Why do y'all have an issue with Derrick Henry making and coming over here? It's supposed to happen. Again, you guys, let's be really real. The reason why everybody contradicts themselves is because when those guys got those weapons, they already had in their mind those were going to be good quarterbacks. They were already going to get to that level. So anything they do with this guy, it's supposed to happen. You don't want to admit that when this guy's doing well with this guy, his weapon, it's not because of his weapons. It's because you didn't think he would be this good ever. And because he is, you want to deflect on that, but not realizing everyone sits here and Derrick Henry just confirmed it. I was told all the time, nobody wants to come to Baltimore to play with Lamar Jackson. I came to play with Lamar Jackson. He is the main reason why I'm here. Just admit it, guys. Just admit it. Just if you admit that he is a good quarterback and you were wrong and you messed up, we move on. We could talk about other things. We could talk about other reasons of whatever you want. But if you
saying
keep
that all year and you still won't let it go.
it's not about because hold on, I'm giving the same. That's another thing that I will say that you just brought up. Y'all can dish it, but y'all can't take it. If y'all could talk all year about the guy, we could talk all year about proving you wrong. You see what I'm saying? If you can dish it, you should be able to take it. It's so easy that critics of Lamar can say whatever they want, but the minute you break them down and actually prove them wrong, all of a sudden, you doing too much. It's been there all along. No, if anyone has more invested interest in Lamar Jackson, it's those critics. Because half of y'all care about the stuff that none of us care about. So I'm just going to sit there and help y'all out. Let it go. He's here to stay. He's the top 3 quarterback, arguably top 2. Let it go.
Hey man, hey, as much as you saying Baltimore better win Sunday. They
And
better
not even
win
about
Sunday.
Baltimore better win something, because that is another ridiculous thing I have as well. Because again, I just said in the last take, everyone is the oracle. Nobody knows the future. It took Matthew Stafford 12, 13 years to win a Super Bowl. It took Joe Burrow has been going the opposite direction. And ain't no better win this year. It's a better win this year so you can validate your point about him. But you ain't validating your point about it because,
Stafford
again,
hasn't had good teams like
it
Lamar has.
doesn't matter. No, there you go. With flip-flop and everything. He has had good teams. What are you talking about?
Not he has not.
Let's not do that. Again, we're moving goalposts. When you move goalposts, you are showing that you're not objective. Period.
Okay.
Done.
We
End of
run
story.
out. We run out of time, man.
End
But
the story. End the story. It doesn't matter because in the gang,
I think
I
this
was
is a
told,
good
hold
way
on,
to
hold on.
segue into our divisional round
yeah,
picks. Since we're
yeah.
Yeah,
already talking about it,
yeah,
take a break. Let's take a short break. Let's regroup and let's get ready for the divisional round, baby.
all right, and it is divisional round. May as well be part 2 of our last topic, but yeah, it is the NFL divisional round preview. James, you got a graphic for the games? Yes, there we go. Absolutely. So we're gonna go around the panel. Everyone's gonna give their picks. Uh, I don't know how true this is, but according to the ending of the last topic,
You know what?
supposedly.
Let's start on the right side of the bracket.
Yeah. Supposedly, they are delaying the MVP voting until after the Baltimore Buffalo game. That was the word that went throughout this week. I don't know if you all had heard
What?
anything to confirm it, but no, we're gonna start with the right side of the bracket. You know what, James? We'll go ahead and start off with you, man. Who you got?
I got the Ravens winning this game. When I look at this, it's about Derrick Henry for me. And I just can see him running all over the Buffalo Bills defense in this game. I think he's going to run for 200 yards. And that's what you got to do in the playoffs, run the ball and play great on defense. That's how you win championships. So I think that's what the Ravens are going to do. They're going to establish the run early. And I think they're going to win this game and control the time of possession, keep Josh off the field, and that's how they're going to win.
Oh, keep going.
No, I'm good. I said I picked the Ravens.
Next team.
No, next game. Just like
Oh,
this.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got the Chiefs winning. Sorry, my guy. The run ends here. Chiefs At home, I think they're just going to roll and take care of their business. And that's it. In the NFC, Eagles, baby. I know people talking about the last game and stuff and how the offense looked like this and that. But one thing about Jalen Hurts responded after a bad game. And it was his first game back in like 3 weeks or something. He's going to come in. He's going to ball out. The defense is playing elite level at this moment. They had 3 straight games of at least 4 takeaways, had 4 takeaways against Green Bay. Jordan Love did not know what to do. And I think Matthew Stafford is going to struggle against this defense as well. So I got us winning. And then I got Detroit, the magical fairy tale about Jaden Daniels and all this nonsense. You guys are going to pretend that Baker Mayfield didn't just hand him the game, fumbled the handoff like that, handed him an easy touchdown, and even to win the game with the field goal, it doinked on the upright and it bounced in. You're going to act like this team didn't get lucky last week. Miss me with the nonsense. The fairy tale is over. Detroit by at least 20 points this week.
All right, and well, until Dom gets back, I'll just go ahead and give mine
Can
real,
I
real
go?
fast, starting with the.
Hold on. I thought we go in order. Like, I don't get it. I don't
All right,
understand.
all right,
I
go ahead,
thought
JJ.
I was gonna say, like, I thought you were going in order. You were going in order every other
No,
time.
that's cool. Go ahead, JJ. You got it.
Okay. Okay. I actually think this game between the Chiefs and the Texans is going to be a lot closer than expected. I actually think this game is going to be competitive, much like with last time Houston faced them and everything like that. I think even though it's going to be different, I think it's one of those things that everybody's just automatically foregone Kansas City to get to the AFC title game. And while it possibly could happen, you just never know when you have another team who just literally nobody's expecting to do anything can do when they come in this game. I will take Kansas City to win this game, but I will say it would not surprise me if something crazy happens and Houston wins. But I'm going with Kansas City here. In terms of Baltimore and Buffalo, I know why that MVP voting is up and is open again. That's because Lamar is probably the MVP and they want to give Josh Allen one more chance. One more chance to try to prove it against Lamar in the postseason. And I will say this. I love it when everyone thinks that there's so much that's going to stop this team. Now the number one thing is talking about is about the weather. LaShawn McCoy, Le'Veon Bell have all dominated in snowy games in Buffalo. Over 200 yards, I believe, for both of them at some point in time. And we got a back that is better than both. That is coming up to that squad. They've been practicing outside in the cold all week. And I think they're going to win this game. And I will say, I think they're going to win this game 28-17. I think they're going to do a pretty good job of doing well against this team. Buffalo is a better team than it was before. And everybody talks about Terrell Bernard, Matt Milano, Teron Johnson. Josh Allen is 2-3 against the Ravens. And if you looked at his numbers, he has always struggled against the Ravens. That doesn't mean that it's just going to go away. And the Ravens, since week 13, are the number one defense in scoring, number one defense in total yards, top 2 and top 3 in takeaways and sacks. And that's transitioning into the playoffs. I think they're going to get this game. In terms of the NFC, I've got the Lions losing this game. I've got Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders winning this game solely off the fact of the matter is I think there's going to be plays that needs to be made by Jaden Daniels' leg, and I think that's where the Detroit defense will have some struggles. It would not surprise me if I'm wrong, but I do think that dual threat quarterbacks have been a little bit of a huge battle for that defense of the Detroit Lions.
You're right
Now,
about
they're going to
that.
put some points. I got this game going like 34-31. Or it could be like even like 42, 38 or whatever. And then I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. I do think this is going to be a very close game because I think both teams are playing really, really well right now. But I think in the end, Philadelphia, my NFC rep for the Super Bowl, is going to win this game.
All right, and all right, we'll swing it back over to Kendall. And who do you have for AFC and AFC divisional round?
Just doing AFC, right? Boy.
Oh, you do. We do all of them, both of them. You
Okay.
start from the AFC and move to the NFC.
Okay, got you. Texans Chiefs. Before the injury news came out today that Joe Mixon wasn't probably not gonna play or something like that, he missed practice. I was still leaning Chiefs, but I left a little window open. Said Houston probably could make it very interesting, like they did a few weeks back. But I'm gonna go with Kansas City, and I can see this one right here getting bad, like the second half. I can definitely see that. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. But if Joe Mixon and if Houston was healthy, I would actually give the Texans a good shot of beating Kansas City. But they got Diggs out, Tank Dell out, and Mixon probably gonna play, but I don't know how healthy gonna be. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Baltimore and not Baltimore, Detroit, but Baltimore and Buffalo. I got Baltimore winning that one. I know they are 1 point favorites, and I got Baltimore winning this one. I cannot have Buffalo coming out of AFC East. So this is a heart and a mind pick. I do actually think Baltimore match up good with Buffalo. I've seen a lot of reports that said that Baltimore caught Buffalo at the right time earlier this year. Buffalo had a lot of injuries, where Baltimore had a lot of injuries as well, and their defense won't even playing as good as they've been playing lately. So I'm gonna go. The um, I think the Bills that showed up last week against Denver, they won't be able to do that against this Baltimore defense, and I think they're gonna have a hard time with Derrick Henry. The Zay Flowers injury does scare me. It does give me a moment to pause, but I do think Baltimore will be able to. I think they'll be okay with it, but it does scare me because I don't know what they have outside of Andrews and Likely. Bateman is okay, but I want to see him be more consistent.
Tripping.
You don't know what you're going to get from Nelson Aguilar on a game to game basis. So I'm gonna go with I think Baltimore wins. But this right here could be probably the best game of the week. Move on to the NFC. Washington, Detroit. Man, this I didn't think Washington played that good last week against Tampa Bay, but they did. And out of all the games this week, I can see this one being a blowout. I really can see that. I just wish Washington had a little bit more offense, and I think their defense. I mean, Tampa Bay kind of missed some opportunities last week too. Got had the turnover, and then a couple of things that happened. So, Jaden Daniels has been a great story for them this year, but I think Washington kind of. I still think the Commanders are like a year or two away from really, really making noise. It's been a great story for Washington though, and I love me some Jaden Daniels. Rams and Eagles. If there's gonna be an upset this week, it's a big if. But if there's gonna be one this week, I can see the Rams going. I can see. I'm not gonna pick them to do it. I can see LA going into
Don't
Philly.
do it, bro.
As I say, the key word, I can see it. I can see the Rams going. If there's going to be one at all these four games, I can see the Rams going into Philly and upsetting the Philadelphia Eagles. Because last week, yes, Philly did beat Green Bay, but they kind of let Green Bay hang around a little bit. Green Bay defense played pretty good, and Jalen Hurts didn't have his best game, but hell, Jordan Love getting the ball, he gave them 3 or 4 interceptions last week, so that really hurt them there. They could never that Vic Fangio's defense been playing real good. I know the Eagles beat the Rams earlier this year, but I think the Rams are playing a little better. Well, they were playing good then, but they're playing differently right now. The defense is playing better, and the offense as well. The reason why I think the weather's gonna be kind of bad. I think they're calling for snow down that way, and
Yep.
I don't. Stafford does not play good in that type of weather. So I think even if it was if it was a little clear, I give Rams a good chance of winning. But I'm gonna go with Philly in this one. I think they get AJ Brown, get him the ball, get him going early, getting the ball early, so he's not on the sideline reading a book or whatnot. So I think they'll be fine. I think Philly wins, but this is going to be a close game. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is going to play. He's going to have to play a lot better than what he played last week. But I think Philly does get it done. But the Rams, oh man, I would not sleep on the Rams going to Philly.
That book
All right.
became the Amazon #1 seller.
I
Yeah,
seen
actually
that.
did. And AJ Brown kind of helped it along too. But Dom, who do you got for divisional round?
Texans Chiefs. You heard it here first. Texans are going to shock the world. Patrick Mahomes has not played in 2 weeks. I know they try to say, oh, blah, blah, blah. There's no rust, this and that. What other time in his career has he ever gone 2 weeks without taking a snap? I get it. He's used to having the #1 seed and having a week off. And I also understand they were playing for nothing. So they threw Carson Wentz out there. But this man hasn't seen live action in, it'll be what, 20, 21, 22 days? Actually, more because they played a midweek game
Yeah.
week 17, did they not?
Something like that, yeah.
So you're talking about someone who hasn't faced an opposing pass rush in the better part of a month at this point. And Joe Mixon healthy or not, because honestly, fuck you, KC. No one other than KC fans wants to see you get back to the Super Bowl, let alone win it. And I'm pulling for Houston, and not because Jay's my boy, because I have some real belief in that team.
It's an emotional pick.
It is. As far as Baltimore and Buffalo, I'm taking Baltimore, much as it pains me. I think Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson's improved play over the course of this year are just going to be a little bit too much. And like JJ said, Josh Allen has historically struggled against Baltimore. Zay Flowers being out, no big deal. Lamar Jackson has a great rapport with his two tight ends. So yeah, give me Baltimore. NFC. I got the Eagles over the Rams in a close one. Like Kendall said, Matt Stafford does not play well in cold weather. There will be some flurries, if not some straight up snowfall. And it's not that LA can't run the ball. I mean, you've got two great running backs. You've got between the two teams a handful of really good wide receivers, but Philly's roster and their defense is just a little bit better. Close game, but I've got Philly. And then as far as my team and the Washington Foreskins, I don't like that line. Last I saw, the line had moved from midweek from 8 to 9.5. I do not see us
9.5 point game.
covering.
Yep.
We have struggled historically, like JJ said, with mobile quarterbacks. I kind of look at Jaden Daniels as Lamar Light, but the simple fact is we've got both our running backs back.
Fair.
And Washington is either bottom, I believe they're bottom 3 in run defense. So I expect us to run for somewhere in the neighborhood of 200, if not more yards. Keep Jaden Daniels off the field. Like I said, I don't like the line, but yeah, I'm picking Detroit, and that's not emotionally. It's just we've got a better roster, we've got better running backs, we've got better wide receivers, we've got a better tight end. Defense is kind of a wash, and I give Goff the nod as far as playoff experience over Jaden Daniels.
Better coach.
Yeah, better coach as well. All right, and so I'll go on this one. Beginning with my game, of course, I have to go with. I guess I'll start this one off like I did last week. Is I can understand why you're picking the Chiefs. If I were a neutral source, I probably would pick the Chiefs too. But I'm Houston, and we may win this game, and here's why. Because if we bring the defense that we brought last week, Houston has a real shot here. Force
Yes,
4
thank you. I
turnovers.
didn't even mention that.
Now, keep this also in mind that at one point in time, right around, I think, week 15 or week 16, the Kansas City Chiefs were one of 3 teams in the league that had yet to score 30 points in a game. So I know they've gotten to the point where it's like, well, we don't need to score 25 or even 20 points to like win the game. But this is an opportunity for Houston to expose and take care of this problem. Long, sustained drives, keep Mahomes off the field. And if we can do that, and if the fucking zebras can stay out of it, and if the camera can stay off Taylor Swift, I'm going to pick Houston 24-21 and stun the universe. As far as Buffalo and Baltimore, I have Baltimore in this one, and I have it as a much closer game. I'm going to say Baltimore 37-31. This is going to be your offensive shootout here because it's going to come down to which defense is going to step up at the right time late in the game, and I trust Baltimore's defense a little more than Buffalo's because when we look at Buffalo's defense, we've seen that quarterback bail that defense out probably more than any other defense in the season of any team, arguably, right? I'm gonna
For like
trust.
5 years.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna trust Baltimore's defense in this one. They still gonna give up a ton of points, but it's gonna be the defense to make the stop at the time and thwart a potential game-winning drive. I've got Ravens 37-31.
So don't nobody think the Bills can win on the entire panel?
I don't got them.
It's not that I don't think that they can.
They
It's not
can.
that I don't
Like
think they will.
They can, yeah. I mean, if they win the game, we wouldn't be surprised because it's the Bills. But at the same time,
Any
I
one
don't
of
trust the
these
defense.
any one
That's
of
just my
these
take, though.
underdogs could beat any one of the favorites. It's can
Right.
they and will they is two different questions.
Yeah, it's like JJ said last week about Wild Card Weekend. Anybody could have been on upset alert, but that was last week. This is this
And
week.
ain't
But
nobody was actually.
let's get Detroit and Washington out of the way. I like Washington. Jaden Daniels is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I got the Lions rolling in this game, and it will not be close. This may be probably the most far away contest in this one. I've got the Lions put 35-10, maybe 35-17. The Lions have got something to prove, all analytics aside. They were a few plays away from the Super Bowl last season, and they've been playing like a team with something to prove. I've got the Lions rolling in this one. And finally, Los Angeles Rams, Philly. I'm picking Philly for the same reasons you guys did. Stafford and that cold, the team, you figure a West Coast team going up north to Philly in January in the snow. Other than a total sleep day, a total slumber by the Eagles, I do not see the Rams winning this game. This one may be a comfortable victory. I'm going to take the Eagles 28-17. And when we return, I know we're at the hour mark, but when we return, we're going to go right into our non-sports topics. Stay tuned.
So,
Do you
Jay,
guys, hold on. Do you guys want to continue for the non-sports topic, or do you want to end the show right now?
Might as well just do it.
I do want to tell Jay real quick about his Houston Texans. You talked about the Zebras. I think people have to really understand just game plan for them. When Ravens beat Patriots when Brady was getting all the calls, we didn't care about them. We knew they were coming, and we still played. You have to play like that if you're going to beat Kansas City.
You got to be
have
up.
to play through the referees. You're
You
going
gotta
to
be
have
up
some
2
crappy
scores.
calls.
Take some
You got to be
risks.
up 2 scores with 2 minutes left. Is what you got to do.
Easier said than done, bro.
It's easier, but it's not easier. It is easier. You're right. It sounds easier said than done, but that goes with the mental grit. Like, for example, it got to a point where when Baltimore started beating New England, they started not caring. Terrell Suggs got a roughing the passer call. So what? Next play. You have to train your mind to deal with it.
You know the
It's
Zebras
going
are
to come.
going to be there.
They're going to come.
You got to take them out of the game. They're in the game. You got to take them out.
No, and you got a point. And that's one thing. That's one more thing I want to add to my take is the Houston Texans got to get to a fast start and build a lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're gonna have to. But I still got them in a close win. But I see where you're coming from. You got to blow the Chiefs out.
I wish Diggs and I wish Tank Dell was playing because I'm like I understand. I think defensively, Houston they can. I think they can clamp up the Chiefs. But where's Houston going to get the offense from? No Diggs, no Dell, offensive lines in shambles, and then Joe Mixon he's going to play, but he's not going to be healthy. And then we saw the last meeting once Tank Dell got hurt, offense went nowhere. So who are the? I know you got Nico Collins, but
it's going to come down.
It is funny though.
It's going to come down to the turnover battle.
Yeah, Spagnola is known.
CJ cannot throw an interception.
He can't.
But to your point, the last time these teams faced, the funny thing about this underlying story is the wide receiver that was in Houston the last time is the wide receiver at Kansas City this time. The last time they faced in the postseason, the wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins was with Houston. Now DeAndre Hopkins is with Kansas City, going against Houston.
So once Spagnola takes away Nico Collins, he's going to take away what you do best. He's kind of like a Belichick. He's going to take away what you do, but he's going to take Nico away. Who they
to take away? He's a big body. He kind of plays like Anquan Bolden. He kind of plays like Anquan Bolden.
Who are you going to like? You going to go to Robert Woods? You going to go to? Who are these? Mechie? Who's going? What's the tight end name? Schultz. So
some buddies have to step up.
Somebody's going to have to. Yeah, somebody's going to have to do that. And like you said, Jay, if y'all can get off to a good start, like a 10-point lead, something like that, and kind of silence that. I know it's big about 10-point lead. And kind of silence that crowd, come out and punch them in the mouth.
Patrick Mahomes he's just as good from behind, though.
Yeah, but I trust that
it's going to take
I was
60 minutes of turnover-free football.
Has came back from 24 points down.
I understand it, but we got to start from somewhere. That's basically what I'm saying.
True.
I trust that Texans defense with Will Anderson and what's my guy on the other end. I trust both those guys. Yeah. I trust both of them to get after them. It's Jalen Petrie. He's out for the year, right?
He's out for the year, but you saw like our secondary is not lacking. Obviously, you saw that. You know what I mean? Our secondary is not lacking. And to you guys' point, what was the play that sparked the offense last week? It was that fumble by Stroud. He rolls out and throws it deep. He didn't hit Nico. He didn't hit anybody else. Hit Xavier Hutchinson. Xavier Hutchinson, he found deep at the 50-yard line, and then from there it started rolling. But
Is
you
it
know,
me or does it seem like the Texans always get the first game every daggone year or something within the playoffs?
yeah, it's like the
Oh yeah,
divisional round
yeah.
too. Yeah,
3:30 on Saturday
Okay,
every
I
year.
thought I was tripping
Book
or
it.
something.
yeah, no, John
3:30
Smith
on
brought up the
Saturday
same
every
thing.
year for like 7 years straight.
Okay,
Yeah, but no, we do got to move on to non-sports topic.
yeah, let's get
James,
to
you
it.
want to bring up real quick? We are in Gauntlet OT.
Yes, sir. So the non-sports topic, ladies and gentlemen, which one do you guys prefer? Traditional cable or streaming services?
Woo!
Good topic.
Okay. Hold on one second. So I'm so I come from an era where when I was little, right? Back when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, I actually learned how to splice cable at the time period. So any new place that we move into, I was the one that once, the cable box was hooked up in the main room, I was the one that spliced it and ran the lines to the bedrooms and such. So
Everybody
and then
wants to know you, huh?
yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
wants to know you, huh?
Oh yeah, I already knew and then I also had the cord that connected to VCR, so you could. Dom
You
knows
just
what
a,
I'm talking about.
you
Dom
just a
knows
little
what I'm talking about.
you just a little hack.
Hey man, I just had to hook up, but also, but I will tell you this much, and that is
Times was
streaming.
tough in the late 90s.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And we thought it was golden then, and nowadays we're streaming. And I've actually gone on record more than a few times as saying that in 10 years, cable TV is going to be obsolete. I know I can say this after having worked for DirecTV and hooking
It
up lines
basically already is that.
stuff, you know, because
The only
DirecTV, I don't
reason
know for something with people with DirecTV now, you can actually get it's not a Fire Stick, but it's a plug-in that you can plug into the HDMI, and your DirecTV is like on there,
Yep,
But
yep, yep. I
nowadays,
just saw something about it earlier.
yeah, but
DirecTV with no dish.
yeah, we would sell that all the time. So dishes are going to be obsolete here shortly, also. But also, you got to think DirecTV. You pay a package for like $120, right? And you might watch like 10 channels. Well, why not just stream? Get subscriptions from those same 10, and you're only going to pay like 50, $60 like that.
Unfortunately, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other with the money. We talked about this before, but keep going. I'll expound when we get to me.
Yeah, my heart's always going to
Same.
be with cable, but me personally, I think it does. I think it's time. It's time to go ahead and bury it. Streaming is completely taken over. Not only that, it's a cheaper option. If all you watch are 4 channels, and those 4 channels have streaming apps, why not just pay the $5, $10 a month per app? You only paying $40 a month to watch your TV versus 120. That saves a lot of money. So I'm gonna roll with streaming in this one.
You know
But
Hulu. You know Hulu people off the back. It's $99.99 just to have basic streaming for them. They can go up to as $150, $160 if you're
mhm,
adding on the sports, the HBO Max. So it does kind of add up. It
it,
does.
it it does. It does. But whenever you look at apps like ESPN or any of the Paramount Pluses and Disney Pluses and all of them, that's like way cheaper than the $99.99 Hulu package, right?
Disney owns Hulu now.
No, I'm talking about the Disney Plus app, the Disney Plus app itself. Because subscription for that ain't $99. It's like $15 last I checked.
I will tell you, my bill is 120. My bill is 120 with Hulu because in order for me to watch the football games I want to watch, in order for me to watch the movies I want to watch.
120. Guess what cable is? 120.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And then 80 for the internet.
it's different situations though.
I got my bill knocked down from like 230 to 200, but now I have like 50
I got the
channels
numbers.
on cable.
Now hold on, I got the numbers for you right here.
Okay.
Netflix, $15.49. Disney
It used to be
Plus,
$10.99.
$13.99 without ads. Without ads. Everything is without ads. HBO Max, $15.99. $14.99 for Hulu. $8.99 for Amazon Prime. $6.99 for Apple TV Plus. Paramount Plus, $11.99. So that comes to like 88 something
So
dollars.
Hulu is Hulu. You're saying Hulu? Are you saying Hulu by itself or Hulu with live TV? Because I know when I did Hulu live TV,
Hang
it's
on, I'm
not.
adding it now.
It's
14,
definitely
15,
not that. It's
I think it's
21,
just the app
29.
itself.
Yeah, just the app
Just the
itself.
app
Like
itself.
I don't do the live
Here's
TV. I
what
just watch it
here
on my
But
TV.
that's the
here's
thing.
the factor. Now here's the factor that's not being mentioned. When you're speaking about streaming, you also have to bring up the cost of the Wi-Fi, because that's the argument. Oh,
Yeah.
well, all I need to do is pay for my Wi-Fi and that's it.
Yeah,
So I'm paying
there's 80 more bucks.
So if I'm paying 88 something, and then I'm paying like another $80, I'm paying 160
You're
bucks for
right.
all this
You're
stuff.
back at more than
But
cable.
You know
to
what I
your
mean?
point,
So
to your
And
point, James.
here's my only
if the
argument for
point was
cable.
to minimize the cost from cable, you failed.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
right though.
And
But
you
the thing
can't
is,
switch. You
if you
can't
do straight,
switch channels on
if you
streaming. You've got to open a whole nother app.
if you do
What if
straight
there's a
Hulu by
game
itself
on
with no live TV, you're not
Peacock
watching
and a game
anything.
on Prime at the same time that you want to watch,
You're
or
not gonna.
on some app that has a channel, but you have the app instead of the channel? You can't switch channels when you're streaming.
And
Right.
just the last thing I want to bring up is I hate how much the NFL has become like commercialized by streaming and all these things. I gotta have Amazon to watch Thursday Night Football. I gotta have ESPN Plus to watch Monday Night Football. I gotta have Paramount Plus
You
because
got to have
they
Peacock
have
for at least
NFL on
one or two of the
CBS,
playoff games.
and then I gotta have Peacock. I gotta have YouTube TV NFL package.
Yep.
That shit costs like $500 and something for the season.
But
Yeah.
but that's
You
the
know,
But that's the
that's
thing. That's the thing, man.
that
Hulu
doesn't
by
help
its,
anybody.
Hulu by itself, because if you just have Hulu by itself, you don't get no live TV. You may not get all the movies or stuff that you're looking for. They have set it up to the point where you have to do it. If you do regular Hulu, you ain't gonna watch nothing on no football games because they're not gonna show them
Exactly,
there.
add-ons.
You need to have. That's why they do it. Like you said, add-on live TV. Boom, $99 on a month. HBO Max. You want to watch those movies? Okay, cool. Another $14.99. Oh, you want to watch ESPN? Bet another $14.99. Oh, you want to watch entertainment because you like the E News and all that stuff? Boom, another $10.99. They have capitalized, and the reason, unfortunately, is America is a capitalistic world. It's not democracy. It's capitalism. Everything
Because
is.
all the streaming apps realized, oh, all these people are cutting cable. Well, if they already cut cable, they're not going to cut cable back on. So
Because
we might as well get all that money.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I have streamed for the last 4 years. I miss cable. I'm going to go back because number one, the biggest thing about streaming that I don't like is you are always behind. You're always behind, and they don't always stream effectively. They'll pause and stuff. Whereas at least with cable, I don't recall that. I don't recall my streaming or my screen just
That's the
make it.
only good thing about cable is it's right there. And if there's two games on two channels, you can flip.
Yes, and I've seen it actually on where I've seen someone have cable, same game as the person streaming. The person streaming is 2 plays behind.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The
It's
only
two
reason I
plays
still have
behind.
cable is just ESPN, the broadcast stuff, which isn't even cable. But even if you cut off your cable, like I have to pay, it's like $15 just for like, ABC, NBC, ABC, whatever the fuck, all that.
The big three. Yeah.
Kendall, what do
Yeah.
you think?
And then my local Fox Sports, FanDuel, whatever the fuck it is, so I can watch Pistons games now that I actually want to watch Pistons
Oh,
games
you
again.
took advantage of the
Honestly,
FanDuel
the
thing
only
where you
reason
get
I
to.
still have cable is so I can watch Pistons games.
The
Yeah.
only app I like streaming, the only app that I will say I like streaming is NBA League Pass because I really like watching all the games. That's the only streaming service I will say that I enjoy the most is the NBA League Pass, or the NBA app.
Kendall, what's your thoughts?
For me, streaming, I got a Fire Stick, and I got ways that I can watch the games and whatnot on my Fire Stick or whatnot. So it's cheaper. So I mean, but yeah, we're
Careful
just
what you say here.
My
yeah,
boy's got a bootleg cable hookup package. DM me about that
Listen,
afterwards, but they've got
I
their
got
own.
the same thing you got, but I ain't gonna say it on the air.
yeah.
That's,
To that
It's
point,
fine.
that's it.
I will say
It's
That's it.
never
there is a
getting shut
service.
down. These Arabic dudes, they own their own. They have their own IP address and shit, so it never gets shut down. My Jay, our boy Leroy in the Quad Cities,
Yep.
he's had that shit for like 5 years. He gets
There,
everything,
Yep.
all,
there
all the
are
games,
there
all the auto market games. all the
There
streaming
is an
apps. He
app for
pays like
movies that's awesome.
it's like $40 a month or something for everything, and it's just a
And
little
I will
box like this big that plugs
Mhm.
into your HDMI. Like, yeah, you
to
gotta
you and
you gotta go out and go back in to get to a different game, but it's all there.
to your point though, yeah, because my mom has. There's an app that we can have where we can watch all these movies, even if they're still in the theaters, and you can still see it. But the problem with that streaming service, it's always like a cause and effect because some things are great where, yeah, you get every movie, but what happens is if that movie freezes, you have to start the movie all over again and rewind back to
Hmm.
that point. And so it's like it's a plus and a negative. Don't watch some movie. Don't stream when it's thunderstorms outside.
Right.
Oh, now that right there. Now I will tell you, I don't know how many times when I was working at DirecTV, that I had to go out and repeat a dish because of inclement weather, because of wind, because of snow, ice, rain.
A tree
That
branch
is
fell on their roof.
exactly. That's a huge drawback, and that's another reason why I say this is going away, because the thing you plug to the back of the TV is so much more convenient. I just foresee it happening though, because of how big streaming is going. In the next 10 years, cable's going to be obsolete,
And you know what's fucked up?
and
When
they're, and
cable
they're gonna.
TV started, the idea was no commercials. When streaming
Yep.
started, it was because people were sick of the commercials on cable TV. But what do you see when you stream something now? Even it doesn't matter what it is, other than a live event, and even that they cut to commercials. But like, I'm sitting here trying to watch. I've been re-binging Sons of Anarchy on Hulu. There's
Yep.
4 fucking commercials in 45 minutes. It still
And
takes
you
an hour
have
to
to go
watch that
through
shit.
them.
I'm like,
And
what
you
are we
have to go
doing?
through them, don't you? You have to go through them, don't you? You
Yeah,
have to go through
you
them.
have to.
And
Yeah.
now let
What
me
are we
ask y'all this
doing?
before we go. Do
It's
y'all
like I
think?
said, they got
Do
people's
you think?
money. They cut their
Do
cable,
y'all
and they're
think
like,
COVID?
what are you gonna do? Here's some
Do
ads.
y'all
What are
think
you gonna do?
COVID
Go back to
boosted streaming
cable?
a
I don't
lot?
think so.
Mm,
Do y'all think COVID? Do y'all think COVID? Because streaming really kickstarted even way more when COVID came around.
mm-hmm. That's
It's
something to do
kind of
with it.
like the, it's kind of like the catalyst because remember HBO was when you couldn't go to the
COVID ruined
movies. Those
everything.
movies were you couldn't go to the movies. You were going to have to. You could HBO was streaming it, so you had to get what their service, so you
Yeah,
could watch
And
like
you know what?
yeah. Movies
And
that were
JJ
supposed to be on the
and,
theater.
and JJ, to your point, this is another reason why you hardly see people going to the movies anymore. We used to remember when it was like packed on a Friday, Saturday night. You had to go and
yes.
get a soda. Yo, I don't worry about a sellout anymore because, like, I'll go on like a Friday evening or a Saturday evening, and it's me and like 10 others in there.
Why do
Another
they make us
reason,
reserve?
The
another
most
reason,
packed I've seen a
another
movie
reason.
theater in the last 5 years was to see the 1978 Halloween on Halloween right down the street from me. That theater was packed.
But another reason why is because they're so quick to release it too. Once again, streaming. You know, once upon a time, a movie came out in theaters and it was like 4, 5, 6 months before it reached home.
At
Nowadays,
least,
yeah, nowadays a movie comes out in theaters and it's on Peacock streaming or Paramount Plus or whatever within 2 weeks.
yeah.
2, 3 weeks. So people are just saying, you know what? I'm not hard up on watching it, the first day. I'll just wait the couple of weeks until it comes on streaming and watch
And
it.
why do they make you? Why do they make you reserve seats for an empty theater? Why do you reserve seats? Why I don't get it. Like I could seat anywhere. Like it doesn't matter. Nobody's coming to get that seat.
Yeah,
I don't get it either.
yeah, it's
So,
just
It's
but
just a way to hope to maybe make you pay more. Like, oh, you want that love seat? Bet.
I
That's
will say
twelve
this though.
dollars
We're
instead of
we're
10.
talking about it. We're talking about it definitely from us in America, but and across the world, they probably still do go to the movies. They do probably still go, and because they may not have the same services or resources we do. But I will say in America, yeah, most people ain't going to no movies. When I went to see Mufasa, ain't nobody was there.
yeah.
I haven't seen a new movie in the theaters in like 5 years. I'll be going to see all the old shit.
Yeah.
I think to the degree that's why they stopped doing it because before the whole thing about movie theaters now we're trying to do like the iPick where you get the reclining chair, they bring you food, but now that's even kind of going away because nobody's doing it and you're wasting money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is a time. I've been to one of those down in. Well, I've been to a bunch of those down in theaters, but they actually said that I hadn't been on a Saturday night. They said it actually gets pretty good, so I'm gonna try it out one of these Saturdays and just go on a Saturday evening and then like go to the bar, order something to eat or something,
Y'all
or even
got
go to
good
the theater.
theaters out there in Houston.
Um,
I got good theaters.
Yeah, but that's about all we have. We ran about 20 minutes over. That's all good. Always great talks, great conversation live here on the Gauntlet. So for myself, James, Dom, JJ, and Ken, we will see you all next week for championship weekend. Gauntlet, baby.
Yes, sir.
Good
Hopefully,
night, Psyops at Long Island.
hopefully all of us are one step closer. Hopefully all of us are one step closer.
Good night.
Well,
Good night.
Kendall will be one step closer to the draft, or 1 week closer.
Hey, look, I was already looking at the draft near Halloween, man.
I knew it. Welcome
Good
to
night.
life as a Lions fan until 2 years ago.
SidelineSports.net.
Yes,
Good
sir.
night.
See you next time.
Good night. Pull y'all up.